Okay, so some of you missed the first week of class when we talked about the syllabus and the schedule and what was going to happen this semester in microeconomics due to either having COVID or being around someone with COVID or knowing how to spell COVID or something involving COVID. So I said that I would record some overview lectures. So you'll see these in this folder called um, overview lectures. So that way, if you miss because you've been sick or quarantining, you don't get to fall behind. So I'm going to share my screen here and I'm going to talk about the the syllabus. If I can find what I'm looking for, here's what I want. So let me flip over to here. And so the first week of class, we talked about the syllabus. And so hopefully by now you know that you only come to class one day a week. And depending on what group you're in, that's when you come to class. And so the other times, there's no Zoom lecture going out. The way the semester is set up, the lectures for the material is actually in Blackboard already. There are chapter one, chapter two, chapter whatever lectures. There's probably about 4 to 6, 4 to 8 lectures per chapter. You're to watch those before you come to class. In class, we'll kind of hit on the high points of that and also talk about some examples about how this applies to you in the real world in your settings, depending on what your majors are, things like that. So that's the way it's set up. There's actually no Zoom where we do that right now. Now, for some reason, things go haywire and we have to go all online, which we're hoping doesn't happen. If that happens, then we will start having the Zoom lectures. So if you're a Wednesday at 10 a.m. person and we go all online, then Wednesdays at 10, you'll Zoom in for that lecture. But as of now, there's no Zoom. It's just watch the videos in Blackboard and then read the information in the textbook, and that's the way we do it. So my office is in room 332B of the College of Business. If you go up to the third floor, you get off the stairs or get off the elevator, you take a right. The very first door on the right is a glass door, and it's a student lounge. If you go inside the student lounge, there's couches, chairs, a big screen TV. There's actually 2 offices in there as well. Dr. Kern, who's over the banking majors, and he's also the assistant chair for economics and finance, he's in there, and I'm in there as well. So that's where my office is. I'm used, normally in past semesters, I've been in my office quite a bit. This semester, I probably won't be due to COVID. So my office hours will be conducted all via Zoom. Shoot me an email in advance and we can set up a Zoom time for you and we can talk through Zoom about whatever problems you have. You kind of see my office hours, but I teach at 9, 10, and 11. Then by the time, I leave, get home, let our dog out, grab something to drink and sit down, probably be around 1, 1:30. So really anytime after 1:30, I'm fairly free. Just shoot me an email and let me know. You see my office number, you see my email. There are 2 textbooks required for this. One is a look behind the curtain, an overview of microeconomics. That's the ebook. So you get an access code, and that allows you to go into the online you put in your access code, and you get access to the ebook. The other is Winners Take All: The Elite Charade of Changing the World. That actually was required of your first year seminar and business course, which is the one taught by my wife that you all have. She uses it in her class, I use it in my class, and Professor Johnston will use it in her law class. And basically we do that so you get 3 different sides for that one book. You'll learn the economics of it, you'll learn the critical thinking, and you'll learn the legal side. So that's why we do that. You also need a stable internet connection. Don't rely on Wi-Fi. The exams that we'll do this semester will actually be online exams. And so the online exam system that we use doesn't get along well with Wi-Fi. It will kick you off, which means that if you've answered 2 questions and it kicks you off, that means you have a 10 out of 100 on the exam. Don't use Wi-Fi. Use an Ethernet connection. Use the cable, plug it into your laptop or MacBook. The other is, make sure you have word processing software, and you also need to have a camera attached to your computer or laptop, because during the exam you'll be recorded, and on that, recording, it's to discourage dishonest behavior. So you have to have the camera or the exam will not work. So those are things that are required for the class. Design of the class, I've already talked about how this will be set up. This is the COVID statement by the university and the technology. This should be in all of your syllabi that you've seen. Here's probably what you care about. How will you get grades? There'll be 3 exams and a final. So let me begin by saying, if you don't feel well, you're sick and you miss an exam, your significant other breaks up with you and you're heartbroken and you miss an exam, your roommate has way too much alcohol the night before and keeps you up and you miss an exam, or you just do horrible on an exam, don't panic. Calm down, take a deep breath, don't panic. I will let your final exam replace your lowest test score. So even on that first exam, if you make a 0, you can still easily make an A in my class. Okay, so don't panic. Your final exam can replace your lowest test score. There will also be a paper. We'll talk about the paper in a couple of weeks. It's on the book Winners Take All. And there are questions in the online ebook that you need to complete. And then there'll be class discussion. So that'll be in the times when you come in and see me in person. I don't like just sitting there talking to myself like I'm doing right now. I'm currently in my home office talking to myself, and it makes me feel like I'm slowly going nuts. So I don't like that. So in class, when I see people in front of me, the reason why I chose to do this class live versus online is I actually like student interaction. I like spending time with students. I like talking with students. I like finding out more about you. Every semester, I have students that I learn more and more things from. I enjoy being a college professor. I will tell you, it is the best job in the world. Nothing can compare to it. It is I've been an in-house attorney for the past 22 years. I probably, having a PhD in finance and a law degree, could probably go into an investment banking type job and make considerably more than what I make now, but I would not be remotely as happy as I am with my job. I love being a college professor. And part of that is I love talking with students. So discussion points matter. Don't just come to class, get on your phone, look on your laptop, look on Instagram, look on Snapchat, look on TikTok or whatever you're looking on, be texting. Pay attention and have conversation, have discussion. That's the way that you really get more out of this, and you'll really begin to understand how this impacts you. If you just sit there and don't say anything and not pay attention, those exams are going to be even more difficult. Plus, you're going to get dinged on the discussion points. So be involved. Be involved in class. That's important. So there's the grading scale. There's where it talks about the information. There are 3 extra credit opportunities. As I wrote in here, I highly recommend you taking advantage of it. Each extra credit opportunity is 33 points. So those add up to 100 points. So basically you get a letter grade. They all have firm deadlines. Well, first two have firm. The third one is a little iffy. Uh, please look through these and make sure that you take advantage of it. As I said in class, or for those that were not in class, I don't believe I've had a student yet make an A in my class who did not do the extra credit. Now, I've had students who made A's in my class who did not need to do extra credit. I've had students finish with well over 100%, so they didn't have to do the extra credit, and they still would have made an A. But I don't think I had it the other way around. I can go back and look, but I can't, no one jumps out at me as being that person. Do the extra credit, take advantage of it. So extra credit one, join a student organization related to your career. As I've said, fraternities and sororities don't count. Please don't take that as meaning Dr. Tu is anti-Greek. I am not anti-Greek. Y'all do a great amount of community service. You do an awesome job with your community service. I think it's great what you do. I wish more students did community service. That being said, the primary function of the Greek system is social, not career. I know there are some career benefits, but it's primarily a social group. And there's nothing wrong with joining a social group. For those that have, I think all of you have my wife. My wife was in a sorority at Fresno State. She was a Phi Mu. She can still do the little clap clap thing that they do, and she claps and cheers, and it's very loud and it's very odd. But I have no issues with the Greek system. I just want something related to your career. So that's my rule. You have to. It has to be an organization that you pay annual dues to, that you've already paid, and you have to attend one meeting. I know a lot of meetings this year are going to be virtual, so a virtual meeting's fine. The one that I always talk about is Phi Beta Lambda, the college version of FBLA. The reason why I talk about that, I'm the advisor. I'm one of the advisors for it. My wife is one of the advisors. Professor Johnson's one of the advisors, and Ms. Gammon, who most of you, if not all of you, have for CIT, is one of the advisors. So, that's the one I talk about. But if you think joining a psychology club would be more beneficial to you for your career, I think Dr. McGregor is the advisor of the psychology club. Have her email me that you've joined, you've paid the dues, and you've gone to a meeting. You get credit for it. I don't care what you join. I'm just join something related to your career. Extra credit number 2 is about the presidential debates. Once we start getting a debate going, I will record it, I will grab the YouTube recording, put it up to you, and then you'll go through this. The third extra credit is throughout the semester, we'll do different financial literacy research. You need to do all 3 or 4 of them to get credit. The first one is actually out there for you to now, and it's due on Friday, whatever Friday is. Today, I'm recording this on Monday, September 7th. It's Labor Day that I'm recording this. 8th, 9th, 10th, September 11th. I should remember that. On Friday, September 11th, it's due, and it's to keep up. There's an Excel spreadsheet in Blackboard you can use to keep up with everything you eat for a week and where you purchased it from, and then submit that to me, and then I'll explain to you the week after what that research was for. So those are extra credit opportunities. Please take advantage of them. It is so worth your time to do this. I found that students are typically a little bit shaken after that first or second econ exam. They did well in high school. They may not have studied as much as they should have because it kind of came easy. That first econ test comes and it knocks them to their knees a little bit. So having this extra credit will help alleviate a lot of your stress. So please take advantage of this. If you don't, and the deadlines pass, you made a choice, and when you make choices, you have to live with those choices. So these are the goals and learning outcomes of economics. In case you're interested, I can't imagine that you are, but if you are, they're right there. Writing center, we have a writing center on campus. We have a writing tutor, um, inclement weather policy, student with disabilities, class attendance. This is a second year class, so it's a 2000 level class. All 1 and 2000 level classes cannot miss double the number of weekly lectures. So since you have 1 lecture per week, you cannot miss more than 2 lectures. The only way you get out of that is if you are on a university sponsored trip. So we have some athletes this semester. Sometimes they may have to miss a Friday class if they're going to an away game. And so that if they have my class on Friday, then that will not count towards their 2. The other that I'm assuming does not count is if you're quarantining due to COVID or COVID exposure. And the way we determine that is I get an official email from the university, and they tell me this person is not able to come to class for whatever reason. They don't give a reason. They just say they're not able to come to class until September 12th or whatever the date is. So for those are considered official university. So if you've been exposed, if you have it, it is imperative for you to complete the form on the A-State website to say, hey, I have COVID. I don't know if I have the form pulled up. That's the COVID report. Trying to see if I have the form somewhere. Official, please. Self-reporting form. Here we go. So this form here that you click on right here, visit the self-report, you need to complete that so that someone official can tell me. If I don't get official notification, then I have to count that as an absence for you, and I don't want to do that. That's why it's important to visit this self-report form to let me know. So that's the benefit of that. Let me go back to where I was. Class attendance, academic misconduct, if you get caught cheating, doing anything dishonest, you fail the class, you may get kicked out of the university. It's not good. Don't cheat. So one question that's come up for some people who weren't in class, also some people that were in class, was, when are things due? If you look on Blackboard where the syllabus is, so this is Blackboard here. This is what mine looks like. Mine's a little bit different than what it looks like on your end because I have the faculty in with the edit mode. But on the left-hand side, it says syllabus and schedule. When you click on that, these 2 things here should pop up. That top won't pop up because, well, maybe it does. Maybe it does pop up for you. But there's also schedule. So there's actually, the schedule is listed for you and talks about when things are due. So September 7th through the 11th is chapter 2. September 14th to the 18th is chapter 3. 21st to the 25th is 4. By 5 p.m. on September 25th, chapters 1 through 4 questions from the text are due. So you have to have gone into the ebook. You have to have gone through and answered the questions within each chapter and at the end of each chapter. Another question that's come up is how many times do you get to take it? You get 1 time. You go in, you take it, that's your score. It's not you keep taking it as many times as you want. You take it once. That's the way the class works. The next week is exam week. So what I'll do is I've got emails bouncing up here. Sorry. I did not turn off my email. I apologize. So for the exam, I'll have the exam available to you starting on September 28th, probably at 8 a.m. And it'll be available until 5 p.m. on October 2nd, I believe. Does that sound right? Whatever that Friday is. So let's see, 18th, 25th. Yeah, October 2nd. So till 5 p.m. So you'll have basically almost 5 full days to take it. And you can start it whenever you want. There'll be a large pool of questions, and then the system will randomly pull from that pool. And so, one thing that I have mentioned, you take your test, a friend takes their test, and you're talking, and you go, "Hey, what did you get for this question?" And they go, "Oh, I didn't have that question." Don't panic. There's probably 60 questions total. So, the odds of you getting this all the same test is pretty slim. I teach business statistics first summer term every summer. You can take my class if you'd like to learn what the actual odds are of that happening. Plus, the answers are changed up each time as well. So, like I said, the odds of two people having the same test, same answers, pretty astronomically against it. And then you're recorded while you take it, plus you're on something called a lockdown software, which means once you open the test, you can't open up anything else on your computer. You can't open up a new tab. You can't, the computer is completely locked down, which, if you try, it shuts off the test and you get whatever score you have. So if you try to open up something and you've answered no questions, you have a 0. Don't do that. And remember, you're being recorded. So, don't do the wandering eyes. Don't pull up stuff. Don't try to use your phone. Getting back to, you fail the class and it's not a good sign. So turn off your phone. Tell your roommates you're taking a test. Please don't have people walking by in different amounts of clothing. No one needs that. So that'll be due that week. The next week there actually will not be. So for 2 weeks in a row, you won't have any physical class. You won't come to the classroom. The next week, I want you to spend that time finishing up the book, Winners Take All. So by the time October 12th runs around, we'll do chapter 5, but we'll also have that book read. And we'll discuss that book, and then we'll also start talking about your paper that'll be due. The paper is due 5 p.m. on November 20th. You see down here. That is the Friday before fall break. So hopefully this explains the schedule for you, when things are due. I even color coded it. I hate color coding things, but my wife color codes, and she says I need to as well. So things are color coded. I'm sure this makes the accounting majors happy. They like to color code. I am not normally this organized. So hopefully this explains what you missed on that first week of class when we talked about the syllabus and the schedule. Let me see if I can stop recording. I can stop sharing, and I can stop recording. All right. Hope y'all have a great rest of your day, morning, evening, whenever you decide to watch this. And remember, when you come to class, please be talkative and discussion based. Thanks.